Do you ever feel pulled in 100 different directions and just want to throw your hands up and say, I quit?
Or curl up in a ball.
Well, newsflash, you have control of what you say yes to every day. It's day 13 of our implementing your 2020 transformational vision goal. And it's the 6th day of our series on focus.
And we're Scott and Julie.
Hello there. So yesterday we looked at what our priority tasks are that are related to your 3 key components that we talked about the day before and what your transformation vision looks like. So
yes, the things that you say yes to. But today we're going to talk about the things that you need to say no to on a daily basis that's holding you back.
Which is difficult.
Yeah. So is that money? Is money holding you back from your 2020 transformational vision? If it is, think of some things that you can eliminate on a daily basis or weekly basis that will give you that extra money that you need to get you towards your vision that you want. If it's time, is there something that you're scheduled with that you overcommit and maybe you need to say no to one time?
Me, guilty.
Yeah. If it's, let's see, what did I say? I said money, time, people. Is there someone that is just dragging you down, draining your energy, draining your time, and you need to say no to them? If there are any of those, then it's time to say no and gain that momentum towards your 2020 transformational vision.
Yeah, what you say yes to, you're also saying no to a whole bunch of other things. And so if you're saying yes to that mundane, everyday, ordinary life that is not what you dreamed of, but you're just doing it to make a living and just get by and make ends meet and do what you got to do to provide for your family and have a sense of well-being and a sense of quality life, then you're really saying no to all the things that you need to be doing to head toward that 2020 transformational vision and that ultimate dream that we've all had in our minds that's so usually big of what we'd really like to do if the constraints of, like you were saying, of money, time, and people weren't there to hold you back. And so learning to say no is a really difficult thing. Most time it takes years to learn. I don't know anybody that's learned it just overnight or just in a 30-day challenge. It could be done, but we're pulled by so many different things in life that we get excited and starry-eyed about all that we're into, because as we've said in the past, all of life is created out of abundance and for abundance. And so we're all going toward all these different things that we enjoy and give us excitement and that causes invigoration in our step. And so we're all heading toward those things, and so it's hard to learn how to say no because you're saying yes to so many things, and because you're saying yes to so many things, you're not getting refined down to really being
what's important
in your greater purpose and going toward the most important thing that we think is coming alive in who you are and unleashing that inner abundance. You can't unleash that inner abundance unless you come alive in who you are and figure out what is it that
bogs you down. Yeah,
that too. And then the flip side, what gets you excited about life, and whatever that is, if you can look at it from a perspective of moving, not letting time, money, and people affect your process to get there, or your determination to get there, or your pathway to get there, then you can start moving toward doing the priority things and getting the key components down of what you need to do to get there. But without that, we all naturally revert to our comfortable state, our familiar state. And so the dream environment is an unfamiliar state. And so when you do that, your 3 key components don't get set, your daily priorities. Your checklist doesn't get created. The checklist we were talking about yesterday, and you were talking about just to get in the gym to exercise. And this program is not about exercise. We're not. It's mostly directly related to mindset, and so. But as an example, you won't get in the gym and get your cardio in and get your free weights done and get your exercise machines done to head toward that vision that you have for yourself and what you want yourself to look like. And same thing with the business. You won't get the things off the ground to get in front of people, get in front of customers, make deals, and get services or products sold or even off the ground to the point that you start drawing income into your business. So learning to say no won't happen when you continue to focus on what you've always focused on, and so it's taken years. Well, yeah. I'm still learning to deal with it. Like, I still get pulled and drawn into anything and everything. Not like I used to. I mean, we're really funneled in and focused on what we're trying to do and what we are doing, and so we have so many things that start filling that space that we've put priority on and that we're determined to go in, that we don't have time to. She hates that terminology. It just slips out of me every once in a while, but it's a good.
But he's aware of it.
Yeah.
He used to not be aware of it.
But we end up not, and this is a positive way that we're using it. We don't have time to go do those ancillary things, the daily things that just suck you in. I mean, every day something comes up. Mm-hmm. Something comes and gets in your way. Some call, some social media that we get sucked into.
You have power.
Yeah. Some task you got to go do. Some ancillary thing that doesn't necessarily need to be done, but life is kind of like spaghetti. When you against the wall, you throw spaghetti against the wall and hope some of it sticks and most of it's laying on the ground. And it's not a perfect world, and so the world works and still operates and still flows and goes forward with most of it laying on the ground. I mean, that's just an interesting conversation, but it's a whole different topic. But if you and really that's your dreams left on the ground.
Yeah. Because
all the things that draw us, all the things that suck us in, all the things that drain the life out of us, and so. A couple decades go by and you're exhausted, and then we're talking about starting a business. We're talking about being entrepreneurs. We're talking about unleashing that creative component, that creative space in us, and because of all the things we've subjected ourselves to by saying yes to anything and everything that comes our way, we've drained the energy out of ourselves, and it's caused us to get out of shape. And you don't even want to go to the gym to get in shape. Yeah. You don't even want to think about starting a business because, geez, how much stuff I got to do to get that off the ground. But it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
It's really centering on what makes you come alive and getting focused on what's most important to you and what you're willing to say no to and leave that on the table and say yes to the things that are taking you toward your 2020 transformational vision, and get those off the table and get them going.
Yep. So looking at worksheet day number 6, that's exactly what happened. I had gotten to a point where I was just exhausted and I didn't know where to muster up my energy, and so I just took a hard look at what I was doing on a daily basis that was compounding and draining me. And it's a common theme in our worksheets that we've been working on. So instead of thinking about what I should do or what I could do, I have now made it a priority to not overschedule, leaving that time for free time, downtime, kid time.
Very important. Yeah.
My love time.
Yes.
And multitasking, that is just something that I was so proud of, and that was just sabotaging me. And once you realize how much energy it takes to not only do 2 things, but it's almost like doing 4 things at once because of the way that your brain works and has to make those switches. So it's actually more draining than it is benefiting you. So I challenge you to try focus instead of multitask because it has made a big difference for me. And then the third thing is late nights. I have said no to late nights on a consistent basis, because if I'm not getting rested, then I don't even start my day up fresh, and that's just compounding after I wake up tired.
And man, our goal has been to try to be in bed at 9:30, which would be great, because then you can just wake up whenever you wake up and not have an alarm rattle you and shake you out of bed.
Startle you.
Yeah, ruffle your feathers to get you up and get you up drained. When you don't follow that. So we've wanted that, but we still go till 11:30 at night. A lot of days, and so
most days are better though, which is a progress.
Yeah, most days are 10 o'clock, 10:30.
Yep.
10:30, I'd say, probably. So that one extra hour would just
makes a difference.
Would make a huge difference just in our lives, just sharing what we're doing. And so, but it's still difficult to say no. And that's a good example of, we intend on doing that, and you don't have to be perfect. It's just to help you be determined to go a certain direction, and so you end up getting a lot better at it. It was worse. It was 1 a.m. and 12, and you all have experienced that, staying up late, and because you got to burn the candle on both ends to get things done. And so it's important to understand that the human body is so powerful. It's so strong. It's built. The Creator built it powerfully, and it can handle all kinds of adversity. And it takes decades for that to start catching up with you. From a teenager, you're excited and energized, but you start learning to give all your energy and purpose away instead of pouring that into your creative component, your creative space, your inspirational insight. And you don't realize it until later in life, the indirect and direct abuse you've put it through, and it starts catching up with you, and later you start realizing your body, it's not that you're getting old, your body's just saying no, enough is enough. And so we're all supermen and superwomen. That was our theme at our wedding, surrounded by supermen and superwomen. Even your body, you're like a cut heals.
It's impressive.
It doesn't happen like the movies in 6.5 seconds while they show it, the wound close up in the movies, but it still does the same process. It just takes longer, and you get to watch it. and then it heals itself, but it doesn't just fall over and die just because you subject it to some things that aren't so good for it, like a piece of pizza, which we love, or a beer, which everybody loves a beer, or what else? Tackle football, and you get destroyed, and you get your muscles all pulled, and even exercising,
you still got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, your body obviously is built of muscles. Even your mind is a muscle. Your focus is a muscle, and so you train it and you build it up, and it gets stronger. It survives. So, and it recuperates, and it rejuvenates and restores, and then it re-energizes, and you go do it all over again. And so you just have to keep that in mind, that your body is created. I think oftentimes we forget that. We step aside from that how strong this machine is created.
Take it for granted.
And how capable it is, and how infinite it is. It has limitations, obviously. Those are real. The greatest limitations that it has is my own thinking. My own thinking is the greatest limiter on myself and what I'm capable of. And you can go through a whole array of examples of things that real simply can show the limitation that we put on ourselves. And all you got to do is sit on a bench and watch life go by, and you'll see most human nature does that constantly, day in and day out. And so when that happens, that's a familiar place. It doesn't sound sensible. It's kind of counterintuitive, but it's a familiar, comfortable place to put those limitations on yourself, because you don't have to break out and take a chance, take a risk, take a shot a gamble on yourself. You don't have to go out and make it happen, because you can just follow the normal everyday life, and
it works.
It works, and it flows, and it can give you some level of abundance. And a lot of times we say that level of abundance is good enough for us, and so we accept because we have some level of quality of life, some level of excitement and entertainment and joy of life. So anyway, I'm trying to get out of town here. She's holding down the fort. I'm heading to Vegas to go to work, obviously. I'm not rolling the dice there, but
no gambling.
But heading out there to maybe do some video out there too. But anyway, back to center. A lot of times we've just said yes to so many things that we're saying no to those dreams. And they get put on the back burner, and then we limit ourselves and tell ourselves that we can't get it done because of money, time, people. Don't have the right skill sets. And so learning to say no, we've come to a place of say it 3 times before you think about saying yes, and going with that inner inspiration, that inner peace, and letting that peace settle in, that what you're about to go embark on, what you're about to go take on and tackle, you have a all systems go for launch feeling or sense about you, or a green light, green light to go. If you've got a red light or a yellow light, caution.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean not go forward in it. It just really means to step back and process it. You might have to take it from a different angle, a different twist, which is a better pathway. And that inner intuition is your best guide always to making good decisions and going forward. It's easy still to make bad decisions. I still do them. I still choose.
Just learn from them.
Choose something, and it doesn't play out the way I think it should play out, but it plays out how it does. And so just going with that inner peace, letting it settle in, and then learning to say no ahead of time. I learned from an older great man over a lot of years, and he just modeled it. He just would say, I gotta process that through. And it wasn't that he wasn't fast. It wasn't that he couldn't do it. It wasn't that he wasn't capable. He could do a wide variety of things faster and quicker than most people I know. But he trained himself to say no because he was protecting his own space up here, his mind space, his space at home with family, his time with his friends, and not get called off into anything and everything that he could get himself involved into, including when I asked at times for help or wanted to include him in a project or want to include him in something we were doing. He'd always process it that way, and sometimes it'd be a yes, and sometimes it'd be a no. And most every time, I'd say 98%, 99% of the time, the answer came out more correct, or the correct answer, seemingly the best answer, because he took the time to process it. So our VIP, I gotta go. I gotta fly out here. What time is it? I'm quite behind. We were gonna make this real short and sweet and quick, but you got a little extra today. So I gotta fly out to Vegas, and but keep in mind our VIP live entrepreneurial training that we're going to have is really going to light your fire. It's really going to cause you to come alive, unleash that inner abundance, and that's only the beginning, but it's going to help you to come alive in who you are and extract what you know and share it with the world, and also have the process to be able to implement it and make money at it. So just as you were saying. So
you need to say no to today.
Yeah.
To move you closer to your 2020 transformational vision. And then what's
that lifestyle?
Yes. And then what's the one thing that you can take action on today to move you closer to that vision?
Yep.
Catch you later.
Get her done.